What is filter media and why is it important? What does it do? Why is it so expensive? And are there any alternatives? That's what we're going to talk about right now. All of this is my overstock of what I've accumulated throughout the years. They're just there. Expensive. Does it do the job? Yes. Is it convenient? Definitely yes. These are all filtration media for hang-on back filters, pretty much. You go to the store, you buy a hang-on back filter. What that is, it's literally, it's a filter that you hang on the back of an aquarium. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but this little guy, I've got several of them. I love them. Hang-on backs, canister filters, and sponge filters. Those are the three types of filtrations that I run in this fish room. Each of them have their pros and cons. I like all of them. I use all of them. I think it's completely unnecessary to waste money on all this stuff. If you're not worried about money and you are more worried about your time and convenience, then 100% go ahead, buy this for $20 and keep on purchasing it every couple months, maybe month, depending on how much is in there. But it'll do the job. It's specifically made for the filter that you purchased. So, I mean, that's that. If you want to save a little bit of money, I've got a couple alternatives. So let's talk about these right now. What they are is they're perfectly sized to fit snugly in the back of your hang-on back, inside the hang-on back. And what it does, it's you're gonna see like this fibrous, cottony material that allows water to pass through, but it'll also trap all the stuff that you don't want inside your tank, therefore cleaning your tank. So whether it's, detritus like fish poop, foreign materials, sometimes you get like dead leaves, I don't know, anything that can make your water column look dirty, it's gonna trap it as long as it gets inside the filter. These specifically have a pocket so you can put carbon inside. Now these come with carbon, that's why they're wrapped up. You can see some carbon dust on the bottom. If you're gonna use these, always make sure to rinse it before you put in your filter. That way you get all the carbon dust and excess carbon out so you won't darken your tank. So what carbon does is it's supposed to make the water more clean. Only time I ever use it is if I want to really polish my water, if I want that water looking crystal clear, or if there's like a funky smell in there that I just can't get out after cleaning, doing all my due diligence, or if I need to remove medication. The last one, removing medication, I normally just do through water changes. So yeah, I mean, it's very rare that I use carbon. So that's why these are all unused. Pretty much that's what it does. It filters your water and makes it clean. Long story short. There are three types of filtration. Now this is not, Science Channel. I don't know 100% of the facts behind things that I'm saying, just that it's stuff that I've learned along the way and it's based off of my personal experience. You may have different opinions, but I'm just telling you from what I do, what I've learned, what I am going by that is true to my beliefs, okay? So there's mechanical. Mechanical filtration is physical filtration. So it's actual, like the dirt, the fish poop, all that stuff, the actual physical contents that you want to remove. That's pretty much what the sponges are for, all right? So you're gonna put all the dirty water on one side and then clean water comes out. Then there's biological filtration. In the water column, on your substrate, anything that their surface area, water column, very minimal, but anything that's their surface area, you're gonna have a colony of beneficial bacteria. So that beneficial bacteria breaks down the ammonia, nitrates, nitrites, and it kind of just makes it safer for your fish to live inside the water. So that's the biological. chemical filtration is the last type of filtration, and that is pretty much what carbon is. What carbon does, if you guys ever use like a Purigen or like a Chemiclean, it's literally any type of chemical that you put in to help filter the water. So if you, most common one would be the carbon, and that filters the water by, you know, either removing tannins, removing medications, removing funk, you know, and just making the water clean. So pretty much in this one packet, it's gonna be the chemical filtration and mechanical filtration. There are people who just use like this sponge, I guess you could say, or let's take a literal sponge, like these guys right here, or the sheet right here, all right? This is a more coarse sponge, so a lot more water will pass through this than this. This is more fine. I forgot what the abbreviation is for the pores, or how porous it is, but literally just a sponge, that's gonna be mechanical, because all it's gonna do is just remove that fish waste, detritus, all that junk. And then you have what these are, all right? All this ceramic, plastic, all these is for biological filtration. So what this does is it provides extra surface area for that beneficial bacteria to colonize. So the reason that it's not a solid ball or solid sphere, and you see all those little waffle thingies, is that provides more surface area. So if I took, let's say I took a golf ball versus this right here. This has so much more surface area than like a solid sphere would. So pretty much that just makes it more efficient, all right? I have all the stuff just because I have it. I'm too frugal to throw it out. I might use it one day, but probably not, because it's been years since this stuff has been collecting. Like, I don't even know how old these are. Like, Tetra? Yeah. Like my Aqueon filter, I think, my API, whatever filter this was, the API filter, like it broke a long time ago, and I just have these. I could probably jam it into another hang on back, but I don't need it. So instead of wasting your money on those, I shouldn't say wasting your money, instead of spending your money on those, I'm going to give you guys a couple other options, all right? So as you guys have already seen, sponges. Just purchasing just the sponge materials like this is a lot cheaper. I get these in a big sheet and cut them out as necessary. Same goes for this. This was specifically for my canister filters, but I cut them up and use them on my hang-on backs as well. So just getting a larger sheet gives you more flexibility to cut it to size. And being a sponge, you know, you can squeeze it in there if it's too large, all right? So it's always better to go bigger than smaller. So that's gonna take the place of these. All right, even better thing. So this one's almost done, but polyfill is literally, it's what they use to stuff animals and pillows with. This is gonna get rid of a lot finer particles in your water. If you want to polish your water to make it really clear, this is what you use, all right? This is pretty much this, except this is a lot cheaper. This bag is probably like 10 bucks. You can get it at Walmart, you can get it on Amazon. What I do is I purchase the big box. So this is a 5-pound box because it's super light, but I've been using it already for a while and it's barely made a dent. So this is gonna last me forever. So let's talk about the biological part, all right? So even just using sponges and the filter floss, you're gonna get a lot of surface area for biological filtration. The thing about filter floss is it's very cheap and you can just dispose of it, all right? So I'll take a small handful, put it on the top of my hang-on back, make sure this catches a lot of gunk. When it gets all gunky and dirty, it's gonna be like slimy brown, like very muddy. I just take it and throw it out. Now, when I'm throwing it out, I'm also throwing out a lot of beneficial bacteria. So I like to have extra things there to house more beneficial bacteria. So a lot of my tanks are bare bottom. So there's not a lot of substrate or a lot of decorations for the beneficial bacteria to be on. So having additional things, like if I was to use these ceramic media, it would be helpful. So instead of using these, what I do for the fraction of the price is the Humble Lava Rock. I love Lava Rock. It's super porous. You know, it's like the ceramic ring, you know, just multiplied by however big you get your lava rocks. And it's super cheap. This bag, I never got this bag. I normally buy it in like those big bags you see at Home Depot. Sometimes they have larger ones, sometimes they have smaller ones. But this one, I was at Ace one day, Ace Hardware. It's a 7-pound bag. It was on sale for less than $2. So it was the only bag there, and I thought, you know, I feel like these are a little bit bigger than the ones I have, although just feeling it, it's like mixed sizes. But I picked it up anyways. So this is going to be your biological filtration. If you guys really want the chemical filtration, give me a second. So I bought in bulk a long time ago a bunch of activated carbon. So this bag was full. I've used some of it. But it's nice that it comes with a mesh bag too. But if you just buy activated carbon, it's a lot cheaper than purchasing this kind of stuff, all right? And you can use the activated carbon. My favorite, I don't know if you can tell what this is, but this is pantyhose. Dollar Tree pantyhose. You just buy a pack. It's got one, I don't know if it's called a pair, but one set or one piece of pantyhose. This lasts a while. So what I do is I'll just take a little bit, I'll snip off the foot part, and there you have like a little pouch. I'll put some carbon in it, or you know, anything I want. I have a pantyhose foot with some lava rock in one of my tanks. All right. So what I can do with that is, if I'm setting up a new tank, I can literally just take that pouch of lava rock and plop it in the new tank, and it's an instant cycle, because there's a lot of beneficial bacteria housed in that little pouch. So it's going to just transfer to the new tank. But if you want to do it with chemical filtration, you can add activated carbon, Purigen, or whatever you want, whatever your preferred choice is to that. So just buying it in bulk. You can even buy like a little container of it. I've got some somewhere from a long time ago. I never bought it, but you know, I got it from when I was buying a used tank or something. But there's that, all right? Something else. Plastic pot scrubbers, all right? These are 100% plastic. They've got no chemicals or anything. I love these. I pick them up at the Dollar Tree. It comes in 4, but you know, it's for $1.25. And they're very porous, all right? They're like if you look at it, they're super porous. I use these in my canister filters, in my hang-on backs. They're great for housing beneficial bacteria, so you can just transfer it to your new tank as well. Always a staple. I will always have these in my fish room. So, just by going off of that, $1.25 pot scrubbies. Got bulk filter floss. And if you wanted lava rock, activated carbon, you're saving a lot of money. My room's a mess, but let's go and look at some examples, all right? So, my Pleco tanks. I've got a sponge filter in the back, but I also have a hang-on back. All right, so I have this hang-on back because they are so messy. Let's see if we can get in there. All right, you can see I've got a little pouch with carbon in there, but you can also see the filter floss. Now this is what dirty filter floss looks like, all right? So this is how I know that it's catching all the debris, and I want to put that right before where the water comes out. So water's already trickling out there, and I know that's doing its job. What else do I have? All right. All the way back here, you probably can't see, but I've cut up a piece of that sponge. If I lift it up, it might be dark. Yep, you can see it's already gunky on the bottom half. Sponges like this is great because I can just take this out, rinse it underwater, and then put it back. That's why I like these over the filter floss. But the filter floss, here we got another one here. The filter floss helps to catch those smaller particles. What else do I have? And then I got a bunch of canisters. Obviously, I don't want to open up working canisters because that's just a pain, but a lot of them have, lava rock, dish sponges, and a lot of filter floss. So normally filter floss I put on the top just so it's easily accessible because that's what's going to get clogged up first. So I can just remove it, toss it out, and then put in new ones. So let's do an experiment. Let's say, I know this is not that clear, but let's say this is your tank water, okay? Brand new tank, you getting started. You have some fish, and the fish poos, all right? There's a bunch of fish waste, detritus, mulm, anything that accumulates happens. Say you feed your tank, you overfeed, you underfeed, fish just don't finish your food. We got some fish food, all right? So let's take this guy. After some time, your tank gets dirty. This is obviously exaggerating it just because there's so much, but I feel like it's going to help us see. And then let's say this is your filter. Your filter, what you're going to do is, all right, you're going to grab some filter floss. You're going to put it in your filter. All this gunky water, your filter is going to catch it. And your water is going to come out pretty clear. And if you see right there, it literally caught, 99% of all that gunk inside your tank. So let's take it a step further. And now we're going to add, a sponge for some biological filtration. And then let's say you wanted to polish it even more. You can add some more filter floss. All right. Also know that packing your filter with more filter floss is going to reduce the flow, especially if it starts getting dirty. But that helps for if you have tanks like for bettas and you think the filter is too strong, you can just add some more filter floss and it'll definitely slow it down. So now you can already see it. It's going slower. It's coming out. You can just see all that right there, all that it's doing, all the stages of filtration it's running through. And just by adding more of that there, it's probably, I don't know, well, they did a lot better job, right? But your tank water is a lot clearer than this water. So it's literally how it works. And then now the top is going to catch the most funk. So I'm just going to take this out after, how much ever amount of time. I'm just going to throw it out and replace it with new ones. My biological filtration, my sponge, my lava rock, I'm going to leave in there because it's doing fine. It's not dirty because the filter floss caught all the gunk, all right? Obviously, we don't count this one because we poured it in there before we added the next 2 layers, but that guy can stay in there for a while. So as long as that guy stays in there, you don't need to worry about any beneficial bacteria that's on the filter floss because that biological filtration media still has a bunch of it. So that's that. Hopefully that was visual education for you guys and it wasn't unnecessary. But I mean, I think that's it. There is a lot of filtration items on the market. And I feel like it is really a waste of money. I'm not going to knock it. I don't knock it. If you guys don't have time, this is definitely really convenient. A lot of them just fit perfectly, but just know that if you are just using these and just throwing them out afterwards, you are losing a lot of beneficial bacteria unless you have a lot of substrate, a lot of decorations. So I always do recommend using any type of biological filtration, always keeping that inside of your tank. Biggest plus of that is you can just pull it out, toss it in your new tank, and you know it's cycled pretty instantly. But I guess that's it. I mean, unless you guys want to see the lava rock, which you know is just lava rock. With lava rock though, you do have to rinse. You do have to rinse a lot. So it's got a bunch of red dust. That's really it. Look, I mean, it's so porous that it was floating. But this is gonna create a kind of a red enough water. But that is what lava rock looks like. It's normally red. Sometimes they have black lava rock. But it's just really porous. It's like got these mini craters where it's perfect for beneficial bacteria to live. All right. It's one of my favorite things. I have them in a lot of my tanks. I mean, I could already see the water's kind of turning red. I don't know if you guys can make it out from there. But I think that covers it. Stop wasting your money on these commercial filter media and just, you know, figure it out from all this stuff here. And I think that covers the video. Any of these items are readily available online. Probably if you go to Walmart, you can most likely find all of these as well. All right, so you shouldn't have any trouble finding them. I do always recommend that pantyhose and lava rock hack, because it's just really convenient. I mean, unless you have just one tank, it is going to be an eyesore to put it in, but you just create a small pouch, put it in the back of your hang-on bag, put it inside your canister, just hide it there, you know, out of sight, out of mind, and then you can just transfer it or not if necessary. It's great for beneficial bacteria. All right, hopefully you guys learned something from this video, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.